Howdy howdy. Welcome to the first of hopefully many videos I can do going over some of my Vynnset gameplay. I've been playing the hero for a while, and I feel pretty comfortable on here, so I think it'd be handy to get some of my insight into my decision making out there for people to see. First game I've got is versus Kayo, really the big bad of today's meta, and you really gotta have a good matchup if you're into him, if you're hoping to do well today in Flesh and Blood. I think Vynnset has a pretty good matchup into Kayo. It's pretty simple Flesh and Blood, and Vynnset plays good simple Flesh and Blood. As far as equipment, I'm taking my default weapons because Nebula Blade just isn't needed in this matchup. It's neither fatigue nor dominate related. Balance of Justice is the default option into Brute. This is my first game on it, and I definitely screw it up. But I'll remember to use it better in the future, and it would have been pretty impactful had I used it appropriately this game. Fiendal's Spring Tunic is the default option for most matchups. Since Kayo can fatigue me out, Carrion Husk is not a great option. Just since he runs so many blues, he can start to prevent arcane damage if it's more efficient for me to just take the damage from Husk for him. Grasp of the Arknight just as the default option for any matchup where I'm looking to block and receive damage, or block and like kind of send back damage. Its game could go longer, so I'm not needing a bursty option. And the Spellbound Creepers for the leg piece is the only one I'm running because it's the best leg piece in the game, probably. This game, I don't use it, but it's very good in other matchups, obviously. Looking at some of the cards I'm not running, I'm not taking my extra Rune Chant Generation. I'm not taking my Blue Mobs because I don't need to be super aggressive in this matchup. I'm not taking my Oblivion because I don't have that extra Rune Chant Generation. I'm not taking Blessing of Occult because I'm not looking to build up too many Rune Chants between attacks. And I'm not taking Shadow Averser because I've got Chains of Mephitis in their place. Other matchups, I would be running Shadow Averser just about where Chains is, but it's just the better blue in this matchup, and I see my blues as pretty modular. Cards I am running. I'm running my D-Reacts, I'm running 3 Reduces and 3 Sinks. I'm running 2 Envelop in Darkness, and I'm running a Beseech the Demigod, and I am running my 2 Chains. That is 11 cards. Making my deck complete. Choosing to go first. I'm looking to go first whenever I'm able to, no matter the matchup. And then, so starting off, we'll first look at our opponent's equipment, and we'll see that he is on no AB, which I think is a mistake into this matchup, but we'll take it. That's going to mean that all of our Deathly Wails are automatically going to proc. All of our Disruption is automatically going to proc. It's all automatic. I don't actually have to, play around, setting things up that my opponent is not going to be able to stop, because my opponent isn't going to be able to stop it by their decision. Looking at my starting hand, Deathly Wail is going to be what I'm looking to banish, just because this is a aggressive matchup, where I am looking to be sending attacks whenever I can. Funeral Moon is my only real way to make Rune Chants this turn. If I had a blue, I'd be pitching it to Grasp. And then we're going to look to Arsenal the Sink Below, and just probably keep this Beseech in hand. There's an argument for arsenaling the Beseech, because then we can, defend it with Sink Below if they send like a Send Packing. Send Packing, if we Arsenal Sink, is just going to take the Sink, and then we're going to be left trying to defend it. It could be right. Could be the right option, because I am looking to play this Beseech the Demigod with the Deathly Wail next turn anyways, so I'm looking to use both cards in the next turn anyways, but it makes me more protected against some disruption. I think arsenaling the Beseech there is actually correct. Now we draw into a Chains of Mephitis, which means we are looking to banish the Chains of Mephitis. Getting a Chains in play in this matchup is very important, and the rest of our hand blocks quite well. That being said, we were looking to play the Beseech the Demigod, and now it's not really looking like we're going to be able to. We're probably just going to keep this Deathly Wail and banish. But we can Sink Below. We could maybe use Balance of Justice to get an extra blocking card. This is where I forget to use Balance of Justice, though. So we're going to use the Sink Below first to get around any disruption like Send Packing. And we're going to end up bottoming this Beseech the Demigod. We've already got a Banish, and we're just going to keep these 2 blocking cards. Just looking to banish and play Chains of Mephitis. And then we draw the Sonata. And this is where Balance of Justice could come in huge. If we draw an extra card, we get what would be a blue. and that would let us play the Sonata with Go again, and play the Chains of Mephitis using Spellbound Creepers after attacking with Deathly Wail. So we can block 6 and then block with Balance of Justice up to 8, break it and draw a card and let that card pay for everything and get an incant down and send damage and get this Deathly Wail out of our banished zone and get Chains of Mephitis resolved. Our opponent does not have Arcane Barrier, so we can pretty consistently keep Spellbound Creepers alive. That is not what we do, because we forget Balance of Justice is a card that we are running in this matchup. I think that would have been better. We end up being fine, but I think that would have been better. We do end up just playing the Chains and arsenaling the Sonata, because it would not be free. And that's just fine. However, Kayo does have decent Arsenal Disruption, and if we lost our Sonata Galaxia to some Arsenal Disruption, I would be quite sad. Enlightened Strike here for 6, Go again. Makes us actually look at our hand and consider what we're going to do. We have a Chains of Mephitis, but we don't really need a second one. We have an Incant that's going to be paid for with Tunic, and we have a Sonata that's going to be free with our 4 Rune Chance, so it's just a decision of whether to banish the Whale or the Annihilation. Having 2 Deathly Whales is not actually that relevant. We're already going to have one hanging out and banish afterwards. I think banishing the Annihilation, since we can play it anyways, is going to give us tempo, give us some disruption, and we'll be fine. We can block 6 this turn, and still get Rune Chance, still be able to play the Deathly Wail on our next turn with both of our incantations down. So we're fine with this. We're just blocking with 1 card on the first attack, just in case this next attack is a CNC or a Send Packing. We'll defend the Sonata with our armor, but swing big, we cannot block out. If we could get the Go again, that'd be cool. I wouldn't hate that, but we'll just give him the 3, hold on to our armor. Life difference not looking great. 13 life down, but we're setting ourselves up with 2 incants, sending some disruption his way. We've got an extra Deathly Wail and Banish. Things aren't terrible. I've seen worse. And like I said, opponent does not have Arcane Barrier, so he's just going to have to take the Arcane. He is forced to banish a card from his hand when the chain closes. He's just gonna give us armor. Curious. Oh, maybe not. Okay, he gives us a card. So we do see the Bear Fangs on top. So we know that that's gonna be banished if he goes to try to draw a card next turn. Still though, that's one of his playable cards, it's not a pitch card. So not amazing for me. Let's check out our next hand, because it's pretty cohesive. We're going to get 3 Rune Chance next turn with Runeblood incantations. We can banish a Phantom Wraith, pay the 3 Rune Chance to do Deathly Wail with Shadow Puppetry. Having paid the life for Vynnset, that'll give us 2 Rune Chance, and we send Phantom Wraith after. Just a clean 3 card 18. The problem is we're left with 2 other cards. One of them is going to cost a resource to block for 4, and the other one's only going to block for 2. It's not great, but sometimes you have to take the L on your hands. Because we've got a decent half hand, the other half of our hand just isn't amazing. Savage Feast here. Gonna banish the Bear Fangs. And paying to reduce to Rune Chant is just not worth it here. We'll just hold on to it. We've got an Arsenal Zone. So it's just going to be block 2 on the Incant, I believe. We've still got all of our armor. Looking pretty golden. Yep, just give an armor. And then the Bear Fangs from Banish. I was not really expecting. It's unfortunate, but it's fine. Chains is a complicated card. It makes you sort of miss, some cards that your opponent might actually be able to play. Opponent cannot claw. So we're just going to banish the Phantom Wraith and have a pretty simple Vynnset turn. Shadow Puppetry, Whale, 2-gate is a bread and butter for Vynnset. It's really how we close life totals, like the 20-point life difference we're seeing. You know, this is a 3-card 18. We're going to Arsenal reduce. We won't have the rune chance for it, but it's fine. We'll use it a couple turns down the line, I'm sure. Get Bonebreaker and a Wrecker Romp. Never mind. We just get Flashback. So I guess opponent thought that they were taking, I don't know, Revel, I don't know, something from us. They are not. We're fine with getting Flashback there, because we don't need our hand to combo. Now here we're revealing a Deathly Whale. I think banishing the Deathly Whale would actually be correct here. We've got our 2 incants, so we're going to have 3 rune chance to play it for sure. I usually wouldn't banish a blue Deathly Whale, just because it's not that high impact, and it could get stranded in my banish zone and giving me blood debt. But with 3 rune chance guaranteed next turn, I think the high end for banishing Deathly Whale is just too high here, so that's a mistake. Should have banished that. We'd be in a really good spot if we had, and we'll see that. For now, we're just sending our 2 and 6. Now closing the gap somewhat. Opponent choosing to take it. And discard an Agile Windup. And you know, a 3-card agility turn, no tunic, it's probably okay. We're probably fine. So we're arsenaling that D-React. We're drawn into our new hand, and we can see, we don't know what that 4th card on top is, but, I mean, we can just tell. Banish the Deathly Whale from the Shadow Puppetry, we banish the red one from our hand this turn, do Mavrin's guys, Deathly Whale, he takes the damage because he doesn't have Arcane Barrier. I'd normally be concerned about that. They can just pitch a blue and prevent 3 to turn off Deathly Whale's effect. But he takes the damage, we play Moon at instant speed and pay the life to get 3 more rune chance and play another Deathly Whale. I mean, that's the life. That's the dream. So should have banished the Deathly Whale. That's how you really get the good turns. We're just seeing 7 right here though. I think I'm just going to end up blocking 6 and just play in the Deathly Whale with a Modern Skies and a Flail. We're fine with that. It's decent damage. Whale looping is pretty good. We're going to block with armor here. Not for preventing anything, obviously, but I would hate to get put on a combat chain that doesn't close before I get to use my Grasp of the Arknight for another block. So we're just preventing that from happening. Sending our unpreventable rune chance and then 6 here, and we're just going to follow with Flail. We don't care if the Mauve hits, we're walking out with 2 rune chance from Deathly Whale anyways. Now opponent blocks 5 here, which is definitely a mistake. If he had blocked with Scabskin Leathers, he'd prevent 3 rune chance here. And then I'm just swinging Flail, which he does actually block with the Scabskin Leathers. So, pretty clear misplay. But it's going to get us there. So we're going to draw into another hand. And just looking at how many rune chants we have, we've got a reduce to rune chant in Arsenal can get us up to 3. And then 2 rune blood incantations will get us up to 5. Our banish will put us at 6. Envelop in Darkness with Tunic will put us at 7. And Revel with will put us at 11. He's just dead. He's dead on board. And with 3 cards, I don't see what he can really do to me here. Runner. We're just going to go ahead and block with armor. Game is locked down anyways. Or block with armor and our reduce to rune chant. And I'm just doing the math. I'm looking at my rune chants, I'm looking at my incantations. I'm kind of realizing that opponent is just dead here. I'm not even giving him armor. Just giving him the reduce. And Envelop in Darkness here is not going to actually affect Bounding Demagon, but it is going to give us the rune chant to close the, really get across the finish line. I don't want to play another turn of Flesh and Blood against Kayo. Much as I love the matchup, I would definitely love to end the game faster. So we'll take that. Opponent has to think on blocks here. Goes back and forth a couple times, but I've edited it out. Because we know he's dead. It's just Revel into Flail. And that's it. You know, pretty good game into Kayo. Some misplays on his side, some misplays on my side. It's not the most premier gameplay, but just wanted to kind of get some of my decision making. You know, a lot of Vynnset is really trying to figure out what you can actually do and what and when you should actually be doing things. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you've made it this far, a like would make me feel good. And if you want to see more, you can subscribe to not miss when I do another one of these. I've got a gameplay video against Azuri I can get recorded here soon. So definitely stay on the lookout. Thanks for watching. Bye.